the DORK podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK podcast. Ryan Davey. It's the DORK podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Rick Rude Von Dick Dude. He is promo code Ron Von D. You know who it is.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan. It's my Ryan. My Ryan.
Oh, hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
It's good. I missed that sounder. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, you don't want to put it in there every week.
No, it's not an every week thing, but you're right. You're right. That's a good one, though.
But it is pretty enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty enjoyable. How you doing? How are things? Yeah.
I'm good. A little, rainy day today.
Oh,
but they can't all be winners.
The weather's a real bear out there. It's a rainy day. But Ryan, it's already the final week of hashtag Dorktober 6. Jason Rossi Lives. Where does time go?
I know.
So
what have we been doing?
Speaking of, we did a dink last week. And so if you are of the I only listen to the podcast portion of the audience, it is a YouTube only exclusive. So you go to youtube.com/dork podcast. Davey, myself, and the aforementioned Jason Rossi discussed the 1997 cinematic classic I Know What You Did Last Summer.
The Night Flyer.
That'll be next year, maybe.
That'd be next year. Yeah.
We'll add that to the mix.
It was good. Yeah. And again, we are well on our way to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So it is nice.
We are close. Any day now. I don't want to keep checking because I drive myself a little bit crazy, but I feel like one of these days I'm going to look down and it's going to be 1 million subscribers.
Absolutely.
So, and at that point, it'll be a nice time had by all. But we have a massive episode this week, so let's just dive right in.
This week in DORK. Yeah.
Well, we're going to actually start with an absolutely horrible story, Ryan, and that is Alec Baldwin killed someone on the set of the film Rust, which they were filming out in New Mexico. I still have no idea how these things happen.
I don't either. I mean, there's people whose job it is. Why do you have live ammunition anywhere near a movie set?
I don't understand the need for it at all. And I feel like in 1994, when The Crow came out and the star of the film was murdered on set, was killed on set in a scene, and which is still in the movie, by the way. They later released the movie. It's that scene, right, where they're all at like that big like round table, and he comes.
Yeah, he's
down.
on the he's standing on the table like that in that scene,
and they're all shooting at him, which you would assume with like fake guns or like. And I understand blanks can be dangerous too when you're really close, but after the star of the film was killed, I would have thought it would have been like impossible for something like this to happen. But then some of the reports that you read out of it is they're trying to cut corners. They kind of got certain people that were qualified like out of there. They just wanted to keep rolling. There was a few misfires apparently earlier in filming, and then this happened where we first read about someone being killed, and then you found out there was actually Alec Baldwin who did it, and it's just insane.
Like, I mean, you can't really, and that's the thing. Legally, like, you can call that manslaughter, but at the same time, like, he probably didn't even touch the gun or load it or do it. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't.
Right.
So
But it's one
funny,
it's one of those weird things too, where because he's a producer on the film, it can kind of get traced back to like, all right, if you're cutting all these corners and filming, I'm not saying he knew that there was a lot.
No. I know that, but it's just like, it's such a fucking bad situation. It's just so unfortunate. And the woman who died, is an award-winning cinematographer.
Yeah.
Who had a family, and like, I just don't understand. There's so much that has to, like, you don't know about this story. Like, I didn't do a ton of reading on it, but I kind of got the gist.
Yeah.
And like, he was fucking around and like pointing the gun at people, and it just, didn't think it was live ammunition and just shot somebody and hurt somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, and somebody else was injured as well. And I'm not making light of this, but did we need a Alec Baldwin Western movie? Like on top of all of this, it's like probably a shit movie too, right. And it was probably like a useless, unnecessary thing. And then it's like what? And then somebody loses their life over it. So just a crazy situation going on out there. As for movies that are in theater right now and also concurrently on HBO Max, have you seen Dune yet?
I plan on watching it at any time now. But
Anytime.
not yet. Maybe tonight.
Anytime USA.
Yeah.
So this is a movie that I watched at home because you know me, I love being at home. But
Yes, you do.
I can understand this would be a great theater movie too. Like it just looks awesome. And I think we are gonna do a standalone episode on this next week. So if you guys have seen Dune, great. If you haven't, try to watch it in the next week, and that'll be our episode next week. It's still making a lot of money despite being the dual release, like at home and in the theater. It's making a lot of money right now. I don't want to say too much because you haven't seen it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just say
I've seen the original Dune.
Ooh, 1984's
1984
David
Dune.
Lynch, Kyle MacLachlan vehicle.
And Sting.
Who has a cameo in Only Murders in the Building on Hulu.
Ah, Stinge?
Yeah. Sting.
Nice.
Thing. So so Dune, crazy cast, and we'll do a full standalone next week. It is 2.5 hours, so buckle up.
An investment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got a teaser and a release date for Ozark season 4 on Netflix. It's going to come out. They called it part 1 of the finale, so my guess is they're going to break it up 4 or 5 episodes, 6 episodes,
6 and 6 or something.
That'd be my guess. But January 21st, so really just a couple months away.
And again, you had a out of the gate hot show that took a shit in the second season,
Like a royal dump,
and then brought it back. So and ended on a real high note. So
I like the show a lot overall.
yeah,
we'll see.
Jesus,
where it
I'm
goes.
glad we got less amount of the daughter and the hillbillies. I'm done with that.
Yep, it's really a Jason Bateman vehicle. I need more Jason Bateman, Laura Linney, and Julia Garner. I think her name is. Yeah.
She doesn't know shit about fuck.
That,
So she says.
That's the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's the show. Ryan, this is right in your wheelhouse. What did you think of the Uncharted trailer?
It was okay. I think it's it's gonna be fine. I am in the this might be a bit of a hot take. I am like anti Mark Wahlberg movies, kind of.
Anti Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, like
All
I
right,
don't.
Real quick, do we do top 6 on the show? 6 Infinity Stones. Top 6 Mark Wahlberg movies. Go.
Yeah, like think of like
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights is up there for me for sure.
Fear.
Nah.
Yeah, dude. Mr. Walker.
Let me out.
House. Fear. Boogie Nights. Ted.
Ted's okay.
Other guys.
I do like the other guys.
Other guys is good.
Yeah, I do like that.
What else?
Shit. See, you can't even like think of like any good one. The Italian Job.
No. No. Oh, The Fighter. The Fighter was good.
I did like The Fighter.
Fighter was good. I'm going Fighter.
The Departed Kid.
The Departed Kid. I mean, maybe.
He is responsible for Entourage, so I don't know if you like that.
Yeah. Well, he's in a lot of movies. Top 6.
Let's see. Patriots Day. That movie stunk.
No.
Ted 2 stunk.
Did you ever see
Entourage movie stunk.
You ever see The Lovely Bones?
That stunk.
Wasn't bad.
Pain and Gain with him in The Rock.
Oh, fuck, dude. Shooter.
Shooter was decent.
Definitely in a top 6 Wahlberg movie.
I Heart Huckabees.
The Happening. Oh my god.
Planet of the Apes. Three Kings. Three Kings was okay.
Actually, I don't sleep on Three Kings.
Mm-hmm. Three Kings was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, Basketball Diaries was good too.
It actually was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We got a handful there, but
We
like
got a
he's been in way more movies than that.
The Perfect Storm.
I didn't like that movie.
No. Invincible, where he played the shitty guy from the Eagles. Played the
Transformers. 2 Transformers movies.
Nah. Daddy's Home 2.
See what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of good Wahlberg movies.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't. It's not a bad take.
No,
Not a
not a
bad
big
take.
Wahlberg guy. But people were like,
What about Four Brother? Don't also
so
forget
they
the
were
brothers.
brothers. They were also brothers.
They're brothers.
They weren't actually brothers. No.
Tom Holland, though, in Uncharted, right?
Yeah, and they have him hitting like some Spider-Man pose, and everyone was like all pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Like, Spider-Man can only balance on things like that.
Come on.
It doesn't make any sense. Let it go. You idiots. You idiots.
All right. Let's not be crass.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, guess what's back, baby? All right, you know what that means.
I was unaware. I was unaware this was back.
Yeah, it's brought to you by 47 Brand. Go to 47brand.com. Enter the promo code #dork at checkout for 20% off your entire order. You can get like this hat that I'm wearing. I'm wearing it backwards, but trust me, it's a Bruins hat. Bruins season's back. Celtic season's back. Get all the gear you can handle over there. They got sweatshirts. They got shirts. They got hats.
They got new playoff stuff too. They got new World
Series
Series stuff coming. So
yeah, they do. So it's a very simple game. You email us, dorkpodcast@gmail.com, something that you purchased for $25 or more. Hopefully more. It's a lot more fun when it's more. But 25 is the baseline. And then we will tell you whether or not you should have bought this. This one comes in from Jared.
Jared or Gerard?
Jared. Jared. Standard spelling of Jared.
Jared.
Yes. And I know their season is just completed, but it is sports themed, which is very much in our wheelhouse. It doesn't have to be just, dork stuff. Although dork, I feel like sports collectibles blends nicely into the dork world.
It's kind of dorky.
It is for sure dorky, and I don't hate it at all. So this right here, and you can see a couple of little pieces. Let me give you the quick little write-up that Jared sent us. He says, starting a new hobby. Big Red Sox fan trying to get into trading baseball cards.
Okay.
Here in front of you is a Xander Bogaerts Rafael Devers combo with player worn material and autographs. So if you see, let me scroll back up here, Ryan. As you can see, you see on top there, you got the Rafael Devers, underneath Xander Bogaerts. They're autographed, and then a little piece of what must have been game worn material.
Looks like jerseys. Look like just snippets of jerseys, little bits of it.
And it is, looks like a jock strap. No, it is a jersey, and it's tops. It's like obviously legitimate.
Everybody knows is the best.
Tops.
Actually, I was a big Upper Deck guy, but I do like Tops.
Well, you and I are of the era of Upper Deck, but they kind of burned hot, I think.
They did.
They broke out onto the scene in '89 with the Ken Griffey card.
Yep.
That was their first complete set, was '89. I actually have every set from '89 to '93. Complete set, Upper Deck.
You got some good cards in there then.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
You really do.
Okay. Do you want to know how much you paid for it, or do you want to guess?
I want to guess. I would say if I were to see this in a shop, in a sports memorabilia shop, I would say that this goes for $75.
Oh, no. Okay, well, Jared spent $300.
Ooh.
$300, Ryan. As you recoil in your chair for, again, a dual autographed relic collection. Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, great players, all-stars. It would have been nice. I think a World Series, another World Series appearance could have helped the value a little bit.
Could have helped a little bit. But geez, Christmas.
Short. It seems high.
These people. I don't know. That seems high for a guy who, I don't know. I mean, these guys, it depends.
He didn't just dip his toes in. He dove in head first.
He definitely did. He's like, oh, this is a new little hobby I got. No, it's not. You just swan dived off like a 5th story balcony.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna $300 for guys who's like a guy who's what, 24 years old?
Both young pups.
How old is Bogarts? He's not
28,
30 yet. He's
28, I think. Yeah, Devers is young. Bogarts.
These two got a long way to go before I'm paying $300 for anything with their name on it.
Get the fuck out of here!
I hate to do it to you, Jared. We appreciate you sending it in.
Now, time out. Now, if these guys go on to have like Hall of Fame careers, you're sitting on a gold mine right there. But
it's an investment.
It's
an investment.
Devers better figure out how to hit lefties if that's going to be worth $300.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. But that's how you play. Should I have bought this? So send those in to
that's a good. So CT Rebel brings up a good point. Are these game worn jerseys? So do they have player DNA on them?
I mean, I don't know if they jizzed all over them, but I would think that.
Did they spackle them?
I don't know what they did to them, but I'm sure there's something. That stuff's tricky.
So someone says, Dave says, as a card collector, that's a good investment. Like now, again, like any investment, this is a commodity. You're hoping it pays off, but like any good investment, it can go up and it can go down. So time will tell if this is a good investment or not. But right now, I have so much more stuff to pay $300 for.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just think that because they both have so much more career left. Let's see. Maybe they are both Hall of Famers. Maybe
if one of them gets traded tomorrow. Who knows?
What would that do to the value?
Yeah, then it's a collector's item because they're not Red Sox anymore.
What the fuck? I don't know if that helps.
It's time for Davey's video game minute, even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, Ryan, what do you have?
So this portion of the program brought to you by our friends at Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code Ron Von D, and get you some of this. Check this out. I don't know how I feel about this. They're in the mail right now, but they have seasonal flavors right now, Richard, that are coming to me in the mail.
I love seasonal shit.
Pumpkin spice, apple pie, our second favorite pie.
Close second.
And hot toddy. They're all coming in the mail.
Sodas?
Yeah.
So I love I'm a pumpkin spice bitch. I love pumpkin stuff, but I don't know about the soda. I would like to try it.
So what I'm guessing is these are all like kind of like a sarsaparilla root beer with like a different flavor in them. That would be my guess.
Okay.
Like you do like a flavored Coke or something like that. So
right.
that would be my guess. I don't have them yet. We hit a bit of a snag in the the communications with Wild Bills. Long story short, I updated my address with them, and then the person who was in charge of it was like, well, you didn't give me your email address. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
What do you need that for?
Exactly. You're mailing me stuff. I gave you my address. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Still a nice
It's on the way. It's a nice gesture. They're great to us. They're awesome. So, and I know some of you guys have been using the promo codes out there too. I get the emails all the time. So thank you very much. Go to Drink Wild Bills, get you some. Anyway,
drink it.
3 things. One thing I'm watching right now, there's a closed beta coming this next week for a game called Lost Ark. And if you guys are into like the Diablo kind of MMORPG games, like dungeon crawlers, like this game actually looks really cool. And Richard, to your sensibilities, it's free.
Oh, I love that.
So there you go.
That.
Yeah. So it's if you're into those kind of games, I'm looking at this right now. It looks actually really cool. I am signed up for the closed beta, so I might be able to give you a little look-see at that, maybe moving forward, but you never know. All
right.
The second bit of news, there's a big third bit of news. Oh, yes. Did you see my tweet about McCree, Jesse McCree?
New name.
He is now Cole Cassidy. Which is like,
okay.
The alliteration drives me nuts. And also, like, I don't know. I feel like that's just like a stupid cowboy name that they just tacked on.
Shouldn't they have just gone with cowboy guy?
like seriously, like cowboy man would have been better.
Cowboy man.
Yeah. Cowboy, like,
man.
Or it'd be like Joe Wild West.
Yep.
Joe Wild West. That's how they're going to pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it to me, it's just kind of like
John Wayne.
A Band-Aid on it.
I just call him John Wayne. Like, yeah, he's fucking John Wayne.
Clint Wayne.
Yeah, right. That
There
would
it
be
is.
great.
Or John Eastwood.
Fine. Sold.
Boom.
I'll play
Done.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does seem kind of silly. I know why they did it, but like, come up with something a little bit better.
Yeah. Come
Joe
on.
Six Shooter is another good one.
Joey 6-shooter.
Yeah. Quick Draw McGraw. Can't do
Fine.
that. Yeah.
Fine.
So that's that. But the big news is, Richard, and the biggest surprise. I had pre-ordered this game some months ago. It comes out tomorrow. Not to timestamp this, or at midnight tonight. Guardians of the Galaxy is now trending to be one of the best reviewed games of the year. And I'm so excited. They said it's the best parts of like an Arkham Knight or like an Insomniac Spider-Man plus Mass Effect. So like, those are two. Someone said that in a review, and that is probably the best compliment you could have ever given this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued now because I wasn't sure when I saw that you're only Star-Lord, but
you're not. So like, if you look at kind of the balance between it, and I've watched some gameplay, you kind of play as everybody.
Okay.
Right. So it's Eidos Montreal who makes this game, and Square Enix who just took a shit all over the Avengers, and now they're kind of bouncing back with this one. Right?
That was the Avengers.
So in this game, I mean, it's like Spider-Man in that you have all of these like crazy costumes that you can put people in, or all the whole team in. I guess the banter is pretty quippy. They go back and forth. The soundtrack is badass.
Right.
Adam Warlock shows up. There's going to be other people who show up in the game as well, so I'm told. So it looks, I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited to play this. I mean, I'm already I think I'm like 20 hours, 30 hours into Far Cry 6.
Oh, nice.
About 10 hours into Metroid. So I'm like, I haven't even finished Deathloop. So like, shit is starting to like blow up.
Have you gotten to Giancarlo Esposito yet in Far Cry 6?
You see him a lot. And on the PlayStation 5, I mean, you see like skin tone, like every pore in his face and everything.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
Okay.
And
cool.
his voice acting obviously is fucking superb.
Yeah,
so yeah, he's just like the best bad guy ever.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's it. So I can't wait for next week to tell you guys all about Guardians and how I guess how good it is. But hey, that's Davey's Video Game Minute, brought to you by our good friends at Wild Bill Soda.
Quick question for you, Rye.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for biz?
I guess.
Well, it's the topic of the day, and today it is the 2021 horror movies. So we have done a lot of different activities in the first 6 #Dorktobers, right? We've done a top 50 horror movie list, not once, but twice. We have done best horror movies you've never seen, not once, but twice.
That was my favorite one. Yep. So
that was really fun. I think we did that the first 2 years of it. Like we just found like kind of like ones that nobody hopefully had seen. That's where all the Night Flyer recurring comments come from. And so this year I realized that I had seen so many that were released this year. Some originals, some kind of reboots or sequels, a lot of big name titles in here. But I added it up.
Yeah, you've watched way more than I have.
Well, I've seen 67 total movies.
Jesus Christ.
That have come out in 2021. And part of that is there's so much shit on Netflix, HBO Max, Prime, and Hulu where I've been to the theater like twice, and yet I've seen all these goddamn movies. And then I was looking through it even a little bit closer. I'm like, I think a third of them are like horror movies, or at least could qualify as horror movies. So there's a couple different ways to do this. I ranked them kind of a loose ranking 1 through 23 of what I would consider horror movies. Let's just start with 1. There's no need to have like a big reveal.
There's no big reveal. Yeah.
Like, and I know you've seen roughly half of these.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen it, no big deal. I'll try to sell it to you. I'm not going to go full on spoiler on these, but the ones at the beginning are the ones I highly recommend. The ones at the end are just like comically bad. So let's start with, to me, what is the best horror movie of 2021 was Candyman.
This was good. This was like a solid horror movie.
Yes.
Had its issues.
Okay.
We're not doing spoilers. So things that the original Candyman. Now, this is like Halloween, right? This is the direct sequel of the original,
Yeah, skipping
even though
the
it's called
shitty.
the same.
Yeah, exactly. So skip the shitty sequels that came out in both franchises.
Mhm.
Just take the original great one and then apparently call it the same thing.
They just call it the same thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that the original Candyman did was kind of hide what it was trying to talk to you about. Like there was a deeper meaning. Like we talked about it last week with Halloween Kills was like bludgeoned you over the head with the social commentary.
Yeah.
I feel like Candyman did that a little bit too.
A little bit.
It was much more poignant, and it was much more as Jordan Peele, writer and producer of this.
Right.
He likes to kind of bring in social issues to horror movies and all that stuff, which is fine. It worked for Candyman. It didn't work for Halloween Kills.
So he did. Yeah, right. He didn't direct it.
No.
So Jordan Peele's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how much credit or blame you'd even want to give him. Like, I think of Jordan Peele as like Get Out and Us are straight up Jordan Peele movies. Candyman, I feel like, is half because it's not just a producer role, which again, I don't even know what they do. It's kind of like money and like whatever, what they have, what kind of say they have. But he is one of the writers. Nia DaCosta is the director of the movie. She did, let's see, she directed
done like one other movie, right?
Yeah, there's a movie called Little Woods.
Yes.
But she's also directing The Marvels.
Yes.
Which is coming out in 23, I believe. So she's definitely a director to keep an eye on.
And so that makes sense because with the girl who plays Monica Rambeau is in Candyman. And she's going to be in the Marvels, obviously.
I thought it was pretty good, and I love the original. The original Candyman, I think, is an absolute treat. I think that was in our top 20 probably of last year's thing. And then so real quick, the storyline says in present day, many years after the last of the Cabrini Towers were torn down, Anthony and his partner move into a loft in the new gentrified Cabrini. A chance encounter with an old timer exposes Anthony to the true story behind Candyman. Anxious to use these macabre details in his studio as fresh for ideas for his paintings, he unknowingly opens a door to a complex past that unravels his own sanity and unleashes a terrifying wave of violence.
And so
90 minutes in and out.
Out the door.
Out the door. 90 minutes. But if you like the Candyman lore, I think you'll appreciate this one. And it's both true to the original, but also kind of has some of its own ideas as well.
Yes, and it builds off of those ideas. So to answer Brad's question in the chat, is it the original dude? Yes, he is.
Yeah, Tony Todd. Yes,
Tony Todd is in it.
Tony Todd is absolutely in it. So,
and a good ending too. Good end to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this one kind of suffered from it was in the theater at a time where like some people were going back, but not everybody was, and it was theater only. So like I think if people watched this one at home, it would have been pretty cool. Or if this came out October 1st on like HBO Max, I think it would have been like people would have talked about it more. I don't think enough people saw it yet.
No.
Oh, but maybe by next year they will. The number 2 movie on my list is horror comedy. Werewolves Within.
See, I missed this, and this is one that you need to like. I was excited because one of the people I was really excited to see really act was fucking AT&T Lily.
Yes,
I wanted to see how she did.
She's awesome. So her name is, I believe, Melania Weintraub.
Weintraub.
Vayntrub.
Yeah.
She's great. Sam Richardson, who is like Tim Robinson's best friend that they were in the Detroiters together. Sam Richardson is also hilarious. These two are both really, really good. Michaela Watkins, who was on SNL for like a couple seasons, and you've seen her probably pop up in a few things. She's good in this, but interesting little story. It's also based off a video game, Davey. This is a video game movie.
I had heard that, but I didn't know. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, I never played it.
Makes sense because,
the
game like wasn't that popular.
No, probably not.
And it looks like a kid's game. Like it doesn't make any sense.
So one of the taglines for this is a whodunit with teeth. A proposed gas pipeline has created divisions within the small town of Beaverfield. When a snowstorm traps its residents together inside the local inn, newly arrived forest ranger Finn, played by Sam Richardson, and postal worker, played by the AT&T girl, must try to keep the peace and uncover the truth behind a mysterious creature that has begun terrorizing the community. Pretty simple premise and a very enjoyable film. Very enjoyable.
I'll have to check that out. Like
Yep.
I because it's funny, right? Like it's like a horror comedy.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
check this out.
Yep.
Fuck you, dickhead.
Oops, sorry, that wasn't meant for you.
I said I'd check it out, man. Shit.
Last week, I saw a film. As I recall, it was a horror film.
All right, I'm going to put these two together. I actually have them ranked 3rd and 6th on my list, but I'm going to put them together. Batman The Long Halloween, Part 1 and Part 2, animated film.
Decent.
So it was solid. And I used to say, DC animated, they're all good. Unfortunately, there's been too many that have been shit, and now you have to, like, you're not sure. And this one was pretty good. It's my personal favorite comic book. But I thought they did a good job breaking them up. The voice acting was good. It was good. I liked it.
And one thing I would add to this too, like if you like the story, it's a good adaptation of the actual story, which is nice. They actually were pretty true to it. I would say add to this list, if I were to add one on here, City of Demons with Constantine. Definitely add it to this list. It is absolutely a horror, more horror than anything else. So definitely check that out. If you're into DC animation, you want to watch something more horror-y, definitely check out City of Demons.
This one I had ranked 4th, 7th, and 8th, and I'll add them all up together. And we actually did a full-on episode, so you can check out the archive on this for more of our thoughts on the Fear Street trilogy.
Yeah, man.
1984, 1978, and 1666. These kind of came out of nowhere this year, and I think we talked about it at the time. Ideally, they were going to be theater movies, like one at a time. Like every year, there's going to be a new one. Because of COVID and because of everything, they decided to release it in 3 consecutive weeks on Netflix, and I love that. Like, that was so unique, and that was fucking awesome.
They needed they need to do more of this. Like, I know we talked about, like, one of the things that last year that we talked about, we did a standalone episode, was Bandersnatch, and how they did like this like choose your own adventure thing, and you thought, I mean, I don't know how much production goes into that and how much time it takes to film something like that. But Netflix needs to do more of this stuff that like you can't get at a movie theater, right?
Yeah.
So releasing, like, think about it. Like, you watch, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like we said, we knew about it, but like not really. And we watched the first one, 1984, and we're like, holy shit. Like, this was actually pretty good. So now I'm excited to watch them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the next two, and they came out every week, and it was water cooler stuff. You could talk about it.
Right.
I got excited about it. Like, I was talking friends up. Like, you got to watch this so I can talk to you about it because there's the next one coming next week. So stuff like that, I feel like Netflix really needs to sink their teeth into and do more thinking outside the box like that.
I agree. And the first one felt very kind of like Scream meets Stranger Things. The second one was very Friday the 13th, like camp stuff. And then the third one started out a little slow, and it was like it kind of was like The Witch, or like one of those like old.
And I wasn't into it. Yeah.
But then, thankfully, they kind of turn that around and bring it back into the modern or the present day, and it was great. The movie I have 5th of the horror movies from this year, Don't Breathe 2.
And again, I missed this Electric Boogaloo, and I shouldn't have. Like, I don't know. It just, fuck, man. I just, like, timing of it, I don't know what happened.
So too many of these also ended up being theater only, and then when they did come out, you had to pay for them. And they weren't immediately on streaming services, which I think fucked them, because there's so many movies that are just for free right now that I bet a lot of people aren't doing this. So the first Don't Breathe is one of both of our favorites. They got the Dork stamp of approval. We love that. Also is in our top 50 horror movie list of all time. This was a bit of a twist, and this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but basically well, the first one's kind of a twist too, because
there's a twist in there. There is a weird twist.
Yeah, because you're like, all right, well, no. Well, yeah, there's that twist, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's sort of an interesting movie, because you're like, wait, so the bad guy was just in his own house and they broke into his house. So why is he the bad guy? Like, these kids are breaking in. Why do I, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then this one, kind of flips it even more where you're like, that guy in the house who you even learn some other shit about, you're actually kind of on his side in this movie. But
Nice.
there's a reason why. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I don't think it got very good review. I fucking kind of liked it.
Maybe because the other one was just so good, you know. It's just like
Yeah,
it's
it's
always a letdown, you know.
Yeah, that's true. It's not as good as that one, but
Yeah.
again, if you're going in with that kind of expectation, you're gonna be disappointed.
Mhm.
Number 9 on my list, Muppets Haunted Mansion.
Why not? Right?
Oh,
Have
great.
some fun with it.
Oh my god.
Because
And
I
it's
think my Pepe the King Prawn might be my favorite Muppet right now as an adult.
and so this is a Gonzo Pepe vehicle. The whole
Romp.
thing.
A
is
buddy
the
comedy.
incredible romp.
Mhm.
So I like Pepe as well. I will say the rapport between Gonzo and Rizzo the Rat from Christmas Carol is better. That's a hard duo to top.
It is.
But Pepe and Gonzo were very good. All the other characters are kind of like very like not even secondary. They're kind of like buried. Will Arnett is good as one of the like humans that's in the movie.
One good scare in this movie too. It
Uh
scared the pants off my kids. I don't know about yours.
oh no, I didn't watch it with CC yet.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, it got something got them.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
not the one with Stamos.
Oh, yeah.
Got him a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's also, I mean, it's barely a movie. It's like 50 minutes long. It's more like a special, but I
But
put it
like
on the list. Yeah.
again, when you see like a Pixar movie that's like 2 hours long, like what the hell are we doing?
Who's it for? Yeah.
And then did I tell you? Oh, we went to see Coco and I had to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ! They
I
put in
hear
like a half-hour Frozen short. They didn't tell anybody they were doing that.
Terrible.
Dickheads. Yeah.
So whether you have kids or if you're just like me and love the Muppets, it's on Disney Plus right now. So watch Muppets Haunted Mansion. All right, number 10, Ryan. I know you have thoughts on this one. Malignant.
I love it.
I knew you would.
I love this movie. Did we talk about it yet?
We barely talked about it. I think it might have been either in pick of the pod or not, but we can go back. We can go ahead and repeat yourself on that. So
Oh, I
Malignant's
loved it.
the James Wan movie, HBO Max. And I was trying to tell you, I'm like, I think how I described it to you before you watched it, I go, this movie will be some people's favorite movie of the year. It'll also be people's least favorite movie of the year.
And I loved it. What it was a callback to all of those movies that you would find in the horror section at Blockbuster Video that were just like so stupid. But like, and it leaned into that
Mhm.
B movie horror bullshit. And I was dying laughing the entire time. And if you didn't grow up watching those movies, you wouldn't know why I was laughing. But like,
Mm.
you would know why but you get it. Like if you get
I
it,
100% get it. And
yeah.
I was like, Davey will like this. I'm like, I can't recommend this movie to everybody. They're gonna say, "What the fuck are we watching? What is this?" But there is a certain group of people who will be all about it.
And to me, and it's not okay. What I'm about to say might sound like hyperbole, and it is. Okay. I got the same feeling watching this as I did the first time I watched Evil Dead. When I
Ah,
was like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Like, what the
yeah,
fuck is this? And then I start laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is so ridiculous. Like,
Mhm.
it was that. It's not as good as Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2 or even Army of Darkness, but it's like in that vein
Yeah.
where it's like so over the top. And they do like the Sam Raimi like zoom ins on people and they're making like, they're like making that. I love that shit.
And I
Love it.
love how
So
like
campy.
there's sort of, and I recommend, I definitely people should watch it. Horror movie fans and sort of like into that weird like 80s shit, even like some of the Cronenberg stuff. Like, watch this.
And like the reveal at the end
Yeah.
is so dumb.
Yep.
It's so dumb.
I love James Wan though. So he directed the first Saw,
Yep.
Dead Silence, Insidious 2, Conjuring 2, but he also did Fast and Furious 7 and
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Like this guy gets it, man. Like,
And he's
this guy
making the
gets
next
it.
Aquaman. He's making the sequel coming out. And I think somebody on Twitter was like, so basically James Wan made money from Fast 7 and Aquaman just so he could make this like love letter to horror movies.
Oh,
And
it
you're
was
like, yep.
fuck yeah. And like, why wouldn't you? It would if you and I were movie makers, right? And we were like co-directing a movie, we're like, we'll do whatever you want. We'll do 2 movies if you let us do 1. And that's our deal. It's
And
like,
then
we'll
this
do
would
two
be the
movies
kind
you
of-
want us to do, and then we get to do one. You can't say no to us.
Yep.
That's the best deal going.
By the way, you remember the old lady that they bring in Insidious?
Yes.
Like so like to like in fucking investigate or whatever.
Right.
I probably should have known this, but I finally put it together when I was watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street with my niece and nephew.
Yes.
The teacher who's in the movie for like 30 seconds is her.
Come on.
Yeah, it's her. I'm like, that looks just like her. And then I looked it up and I'm like, yeah, that lady's in like a ton of horror movies, but she was in Nightmare on Elm Street for like a minute.
A hot second.
Yeah.
So James
Weird.
Wan is the king of like one word title horror movies.
Insidious.
Conjuring. Insidious.
Yep.
Malignant.
Yeah.
What else? Is there another one?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
I love him. I don't know what he's got nothing else cooking right now, just because obviously he's still working on Aquaman too. But
Yep.
Man, I love the guy. All right, now here's one. I have at 11 on my list. The Forever Purge.
Didn't see it. I've only seen one Purge movie, and I feel like there's been like 5, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I get it.
I think I've seen them all. Probably. I liked the very first one. There was also another movie called The First Purge, which was pretty good. And this
Is that the
one's
one with Marissa Tomei? Who was in it?
no. In the First Purge or
In the first Purge.
the original one?
No. The one called The First Purge.
So fucking what a
It was like the person who thought of the Purge.
might have been
like-
Marissa Tomei.
It was Marissa Tomei. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Mhm.
To say Lena Headley was in the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei. So this one, again, I love the premise so much. Like, again, the movies don't always like pay off, but like it's a good idea. And this one basically is all the rules are broken as a sect of lawless marauders decide that the annual purge does not need to stop at daybreak and instead should never end. And so there is a lot of like, kind of like the political environment type of.
But the other thing too is like the whole point of the Purge. It was one night.
Right.
You kind of, if it's not one night, it's not a thing. It's just like anarchy. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't.
Correct, but if you get enough people to think that it should continue.
But my thing is like normal people. What was scary to me in the first not the first Purge, but the original Purge movie.
Thank you.
Because that's confusing, right?
It's super confusing.
Was that it was like normal people doing bad shit.
Ah.
Like what if you knew that you could do anything and get away with it for one, like what would you do? And like that psychology of it, but when it's just bad people doing bad shit to good people, like that's not anything anymore. You know?
What would you do on the Purge?
Honestly, in my mind, I'm like, I would like, I would rob a bank or something. But like, thinking of that, if I go and rob a bank, first of all, the bank's already going to be robbed. Secondly,
you're not gonna be alone.
I'm not going to be alone, and not only that, people can kill me on sight,
Right?
Without having to because they're armed too. So really, in reality, what I would do is hide for 24 hours.
I think so. Like I was thinking about it. I'm like, I think
keep to myself.
Yeah, I think what you would do is, and then the other thing, you would either go somewhere, but you would also, with the risk of somebody just destroying your house, you would have to beef up the home security to the point that a lot of these people in the movies have, where you not just board it up, but you're able to like put just a whole kind of like bubble around your house and just fucking wait it out.
And for me, like I might fucking just grab a tent and the fam and just go into the woods for a night.
That's risky.
No, like deep. Like I would go like way into the woods. Just be like, just be quiet.
Yeah, it's like once a year you'd be like would you just be with your family, or would you have like people together like a fucking Super Bowl party?
That's the thing. Like, but then do I trust any of those assholes?
Right.
I know.
You
keep a tight circle there.
Yeah, it'd have to be real tight. I'd have to imagine.
I trust you. By the way, I would trust you.
Yeah, we could hang out. We got the kids over together.
Have a few beers, couple 2, 3. 2,
3 brewskis.
Yeah. You got your sword. I got my bow and arrow. We'll be all right.
Yep. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right, this next one is a foreign film. It's available on Netflix right now, called Blood Red Sky.
And this one I checked out. This was motherfucking vampires on a motherfucking plane.
Motherfucking vampire but they didn't know it was a motherfucking vampire.
They didn't, but I did like the vampire makeup though. It was very
Yeah.
primal. It was like almost 30 Days of Night, so it was kind of like the direct sequel to The Night Flyer. If we want to bring that up again.
Think of a movie. Yeah, it wasn't. Basically, think of a movie where you have terrorists on a plane. They try to hijack a plane, and they don't know that one of the people on the plane is a fucking vampire.
Now, there was like some things in this movie too that were like suspension of disbelief. First of all, vampires don't exist, right? We know that, but like that she's going to. What was the plan? I'm not to give too much away, but the woman who is a vampire is on a trip with her son, and she's going to America to present this miracle medication that she got from some fucking random guy to American scientists that would hopefully cure her. How do you even find somebody to talk? Like, I'm a vampire. This is my cure. Can you please make more of it?
Internet.
It would be like, get the fuck out of here right now.
I would think the internet could probably get it done.
And again, suspension of disbelief, but it's like Passenger 57 or Air Force One with vampires.
Yeah, but it's also got a little of. I'm trying to think.
It's got a little Michael Mann. It's really a cosmic gumbo.
Definitely Tarantino, but it knows what it is. No, I'm trying to think what else it even is like.
Is snakes out there this big?
Oh, they're fucking vampires on the plane, not snakes. Christ.
You just bing it. You'll find a doctor who can create.
It's not bad though.
It's not bad. It's pretty good. I loved what's the guy's name? 8 Ball.
Yeah,
he was pretty fun.
I like most vampire things. I'll at least entertain and see what you do with it because there's all different twists. There's twists and wrinkles that you can do to vampire. Like it's not all uniform.
So my favorite vampire movie of all time is Let the Right One In.
Yeah, great one.
Not Let Me In, but Let the Right One In. The Swedish one. That one movie is fucking perfect vampire movie in my mind.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you know what movie actually? I gotta say this now because it's fucking Dorktober. I look this up, so I want to make sure I get it right, get the year right.
Salem's Lot.
I would argue. Ready? This is gonna be a big one. This is gonna be a big statement coming up. The most underrated, the most underappreciated horror movie of all time is Near Dark. Look at that. 1987, directed by Catherine Bigelow, starring Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Speaking of vampires, that's why it reminded me.
Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
I mean, she is
an incredible director.
Prolific.
Yeah.
As a director. So yeah.
Near Dark's got to be on Tubi. Let me take a look.
She directed Point Break.
Yeah. Oh, she's incredible. But I'm telling you, right there, Near Dark, it doesn't get nearly enough. Didn't get enough credit.
By the way, fuck your Hurt Locker. She directed Point Break. She's director of Point Break.
I know Hurt Locker. What do you mean Hurt Locker?
She directed the Hurt Locker too, and she won an Oscar.
I know that.
But what I'm saying to the audience, she directed the Hurt Locker too. Fuck that. She directed Point Break. That's all you need to know.
You don't have to curse at me.
I'm just cursing at everybody.
You don't have to curse at me.
Oh, Bill Paxton. Wait a minute. I've seen this movie.
I hope so. And she was married to James Cameron for 2 years.
Right. And did he produce this movie?
Maybe. She also did Zero Dark 30.
She did do Zero Dark 30, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But this was like a better Lost Boys.
Dude, this movie was awesome.
Is this the one where this is the one where Bill Paxton gets all like burned up?
Yeah. He looks pretty gnarly in this one.
Yes. Seen that a long time ago. I gotta watch that again. I haven't seen it in like 20 years.
I can't see I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's streaming.
Pluto TV?
It's got to be on Pluto or fucking Tubi.
No one's I told you last week, sneaky good horror movies is Prime.
So this says Prime. It says premium subscription. So sometimes that means some other. I don't know if that means fucking what, but anyway, watch Near Dark. You'll love it. All right, here's a couple that are sort of sequels, reboots, reimaginations, spin-offs, etc. We're gonna throw out Spiral.
So I saw this.
Okay. Chris Rock.
You didn't like it.
I didn't. I really wanted to, but I did not.
But it's way better than many of the Saw sequels.
You might find this hard to believe. I enjoy most of them.
Right.
I like a Saw movie.
How many Saws have there been? 8?
Sounds
Plus this.
Sounds about right.
I think there's been 8, including Jigsaw. So there's been 8 Saw movies. This is the 9th, and they've greenlit 10.
Wow.
So I would say this is in the top half of Saw movies.
Okay, so you're right. This is the 9th. And this was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman Bozeman, who also directed 2, 3, and 4.
Which are the better. After 3, it kind of goes downhill.
I would agree. I would say the first one is still night and day the best one.
By far.
And then it might go in order 2, 3, 4. And then I think it skips to Jigsaw.
Yep.
Was better. And then probably this, and then like 5, or maybe 3D, 5, 6, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But Chris Rock, to me, like, I still can't tell if the guy's a good actor. He's all over the place. Some movies you see him, he's awesome. Other movies you see him, you're like, is he serious? Like, I didn't think he was good in this movie.
I didn't also thought he was the worst acting I've ever seen him do was in Fargo.
Yeah, that really floored me. Because that's a show that just cultivates great acting.
And I just recently rewatched the first season of Fargo. Fucking incredible. Like the cast in that show is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
You forget that like Colin Hanks was in that show.
Right.
And Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk is in the first season of Fargo.
Bob Odenkirk. Was it Patrick Wilson was in it?
No, so he's in season 2. So
season 2.
So in season
Billy
1,
Bob Thornton season.
Billy Bob Thornton,
Right.
Martin Freeman, Colin. Yeah, like the unbelievable.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. So, but Spiral's still on the fringe of like I would tell people to watch it, but I'm not like, oh, you gotta see Spiral. You know. 14 is the movie we did last week, Halloween Kills.
Shit in your mouth. Bad.
It was pretty bad.
Like shit, shark sandwich bad.
It was Friar's Helmet bad.
Yep.
All right. This is a weird one. This movie is called Aftermath. I saw it on Netflix.
Yep.
And it is a young couple struggling to stay together when they are offered an amazing deal on a home with a questionable past that would normally be beyond their means. In a final attempt to start fresh as a couple, they take the deal. And it's the kid who played Iceman in the first X-Men movies. And then the female in this is, her name's Ashley Greene. She was in a bunch of the Twilight movies.
I know Ashley Greene.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's the best part of the movie by far. It kind of steals from like a handful of horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. Not complete. Not again. Not a waste of time. But not great. I have it ranked slightly ahead of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, which we did a standalone on. Neither one of us liked.
Yeah.
Then I have The Woman in the Window with Amy Adams, which this fucking movie wanted to be good. The cast is off the charts, but it was a dud. It was an absolute dud.
Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman, Wyatt Russell, Anthony Mackie, Jennifer Jason Leigh. You can't pull together a fucking good movie with that?
They couldn't. Isn't that amazing?
Ugh.
And what's his name? Paperboy. Brian Tyree Henry was in it.
So it was like a Hitchcock movie?
It wanted to be.
Or was like a take on that or something?
Well, it wanted to be. I mean, so Amy Adams' character won't leave her house.
Yeah.
She has a whole thing. She won't leave her house. So it's a little rear window and like her spying around. She has like a tenant that lives underneath in like a whole thing.
Oh, so the director of this directed a movie. Joe Wright directed one of my favorite movies of 2013. He's the executive producer. Locke, starring Tom Hardy when he's like driving in the car. You seen that movie?
Oh, interesting. No.
It's a good movie.
All right.
It's just him in a car, like basically talking to himself.
All right.
It's pretty awesome.
We also got a new Wrong Turn movie.
I didn't even know this existed until you put it on the list.
This was one of these ones, like, again, that was like most of them were supposed to come out last year, got pushed to this year. I liked the original Wrong Turn a lot, and sneaky some of the sequels like weren't bad. Like they were clearly like direct to DVD shit, but like if you sit and watch them, you're like, actually not terrible. This one, it takes it in a different direction, I'll say, and it's not, to me, not great. Army of the Dead came out. We did a standalone on that.
Oh,
I don't need to spend any
man.
more time on that.
Woo!
A Quiet Place Part 2. I
This
don't like
movie.
these movies. I don't. People do. I don't. You know how I stand on them. Here's two things that aren't the reason why I didn't like it, but it's for people like us who analyze
Mhm.
movies that will drive you nuts. Ready? Here are two things. One, at the beginning of the movie, they have like some flashbacks to like when things weren't complete shit,
Right.
and they have they're playing. There's a baseball game, right? I think John Krasinski's kids playing baseball
Yes.
on a softball field. It
Yep.
drives me nuts. They're playing Little League baseball and there's no mound. They're throwing from flat. Pisses me off. And in the same game, Cillian Murphy's character is listening to the radio. It's a legit radio. He's listening to the Red Sox game on the radio, but it's Dave O'Brien and Jerry Remy who are the TV broadcasters, not the radio, not WEEI, not the Red Sox radio network. And even if I didn't work there, it would still drive me nuts.
And I think as someone who's from this area, like,
right,
that's a no-no.
Being from Newton, Krasinski, like if you're gonna like, it's stupid things like that. Like you clearly wanted to like, hey, let's listen to the baseball game, and you're like, all right, but I like the TV guys. It's like, no, all the people in New England will know that that's just stupid shit.
And everyone knows, like, if you put Sean McDonough and like Joe Castig on there, like they're gonna know immediately that those are the real voices.
Correct. So that drove me nuts. Let alone the whole like the movie. Like I just
no disrespect to Bradfo or Lou Merlone, but like I hear Joe Castiglione. Like that's who I hear since I was a kid. Like that's,
right.
Yeah.
But
again, this movie had other problems. So like,
okay, it did have
half
problems.
Of this movie I liked, half I hated. I liked Cillian Murphy and the daughter doing their thing.
Yep.
The whole thing with the son and Emily Blunt, that was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That was super dumb. Like
like the massive, like the big, like payoff scene, like at the end or whatever. It was like, not for me.
No,
pretty shitty. Here's a movie that I probably should watch again because Davey was kind enough to point out to me that I can turn the dubbing off. I thought once a movie was dubbed, it was just fucking dubbed, and I hate a dubbed thing. I don't mind subtitles. I hate dubbed. And so it's called A Classic Horror Story.
Bozo did it.
Don't swear. Oh my God. What game show have you ever seen that had swearing in it?
So A Classic Horror Story is available on Netflix. It's actually pretty interesting. It's got a few twists on a few classic things. I was kind of distracted by the dubbing, but again, I fucked that up myself. So watch that one. The final two I have real quick here are the Megan Fox movie Till Death.
Didn't see it.
So this isn't a complete spoiler, but they kind of took some of Gerald's Game. Remember Carlo Gugino's?
Yeah, yep.
So this is a movie where Megan Fox ends up being handcuffed to her dead husband. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And well, I mean, nobody's gonna fucking care, so I'll spoil it a little bit. The husband, like the relationship's not good. The husband's a fuck up. He actually kills himself, and he like apparently wants to put her through hell. So he handcuffs them together. They're in a lake house, like all by themselves. She's like dragging them all around the house, and I'm like, because obviously there's no key, but it's also not the handcuffs that are super tight. It's the ones that have like a little bit of a chain in between. You know?
Yeah.
If you were handcuffed, so first of all, she doesn't like this guy. He's a piece of shit, and he's dead.
Yep.
And okay, maybe there's not like a knife or something.
I already know what you fucking
smash the shit out of his arm until it's broken, and then just you're out of there.
Or just find something sharp.
Anything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he took the sharp stuff. Like she made like a line, like he took all the sharp stuff. But you would just smash his arm against the wall.
You just take some. Like I would grab his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, break the shit out of his wrist.
Yep.
And then just find like a wall, like
and
a
then you're out of
crease in
there.
a wall, and just start fucking going to town on it.
It drove me nuts. She dragged him up and down the stairs. She dragged him to the car. I'm like, come on.
No, you could in a house, like you could fucking take out a railing, like in the stairs, and start fucking stabbing at it. You know.
Any of these little fuckers ever pop out of the fucking wall and say, "Fuck, there's a horse cock in my room" or a donkey dick?
No.
Okay. And then the last one I have on my list is an Amanda Seyfried movie, and this was terrible because this was months and months ago. Nothing was on TV, and I got to pick what we were watching with me and my wife. And I was like, "Oh, it's Amanda Seyfried. It looks like it could be spooky." It's called Things Heard and Seen. It's one of the biggest piles of trash of the entire year.
And it's crazy. She put out 2 dump horror movies this year. This one, and remember, I was confused. That's why I'm so fucking confused, because you were talking about this movie, and she put another movie with Kevin Bacon.
Oh my god,
which was like, I guess, was also horrible.
She's a great actress. Like, I like her very much.
Yeah,
this is an
Who would have
artist.
thought that out of all the Mean Girls cast, like she was going to be the one that was like Oscar nominated? Who would have thought?
Well, Rachel McAdams has been, no?
Yeah, but I feel like there was a run there with like Mamma Mia and like a bunch of other shit. Like Amanda Seyfried had like a better run than any one of them.
Yeah, Jennifer's Body with the aforementioned Megan Fox.
Mm-hmm.
The plot is an artist relocates to the Hudson Valley and begins to suspect that her marriage has a sinister darkness, one that rivals her new home's history.
So basically, What Lies Beneath, a worse version of What Lies Beneath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford.
That movie was good. Much worse version of that. So there you go. Those are the horror movies that came out this year. Again, watch Candyman, Werewolves Within, the Fear Street trilogy, the Long Halloween 2 movies, and Don't Breathe 2, and then Malignant, if you like that kind of shit.
One other one I watched that you didn't watch, actually, that sucked. Old. The Shyamalan movie.
Oh, you saw that? I did not.
It stunk. Oh my god, this guy is talking about losing your fastball. This guy's had Tommy John. He had Tommy John. Came out with what was the one that was okay?
Split.
Yes. It's like they're like okay. Like
now
he's got it back.
Tommy John again.
He's Tommy John again, and it's like it's bad. Now they're gonna use pig tendons, and he's cobbled together with like nuts and just bolts right now.
What a mess.
Yeah.
What a mess, right? All right, let's get to this.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb.
All right, before you decide whether you want to kick, receive, defer, or defend the goal, just a reminder, you guys can tweet us at Dork Podcast or email us dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Did you agree with the list, disagree with the list? What's your favorite horror movie of the year? And maybe one that we missed that we did not get to. So for that, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or defend a goal?
I will defer.
All right, so I've done this too many times on the podcast, but I feel like it's still worth doing. I will sometimes hear your pick of the podcast and then 2 weeks later actually watch said thing and then follow up with you.
And I think I've done that to you too. So we're even now.
It's all good. And it's funny, actually, Brad in the chat says exactly what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
Davey recommended Squid Game. And I told him the same thing I just said about a classic horror story. I go, I fucking can't stand dubbing. And he goes, well, turn it off. I was like, what?
Turn it off. Just put the original language with subtitles.
Because I think my issue is on Netflix, we usually have the subtitles just on. And as you know, Davey, and I think anybody listening, especially if you have little kids and you watch stuff while they nap or right when they first go to bed, you have the volume on, but it's low. And so I just have the subtitles on. And then so when a movie pops on and the subtitles were already there and there was dubbing, I'm like, oh, I guess they fucking just
they don't match.
No, and they don't match. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's brutal. And I'm like, I want to hear what the actors' voices are. I don't give a fuck if I can't understand them. Like, let me hear the voice. I can read the thing, and I'm all in. I've never complained about subtitles. And then so I watched the first like episode or 2 that way, and then you told me like turn it off. And so I'm not done yet. So don't spoil it for me yet. Anybody out there, don't spoil it for me yet. I have like 2.5 or 3 episodes left. I fucking really like it. And
I really like it. Yeah.
This was hyped up to me too. Like usually, like if somebody hypes something up, I kind of am like, I kind of pick holes in it. I'm enjoying the shit out of this.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not what you think it is.
No.
You know, you think it's like just some like Hunger Games ripoff. It's not.
Nope. And there's like a bunch of different angles that play too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not just waiting for one thing to resolve itself. I'm waiting for like 3 things to resolve itself. So I highly recommend Squid Game. I would like to do a standalone episode on it, but we got a lot going on. It may be tricky, but anyway, I am watching it for people who have asked, and I like it very much, and hopefully I'll finish it soon. What do you got?
So a quick story. So I was thinking of this. I was telling this story the other day. I'm coaching high school football again, and I was telling a story to one of my former coaches. Because we were going out for a game in the second half, and I said to one of the captains, we deferred in the first half. And I said, you know what you're doing, right? And the kid was like, yeah. I go, tell me what you're doing. He goes, we want the ball. I go, okay, go. Like, go. And the guy was like, why'd you do that? I go, true story. I sent a captain of my JV football team. We deferred in the first half. And I said, do you know what you're doing? He says, yes. He goes out. The ref looks at me, talks to the captain of the team, looks at me, looks back at the kid, shrugs, and goes, okay. The kid deferred again.
No, you can't defer twice.
He deferred again. He's like, what? He's like, we're deferring. And he was like super confident. I talked to the ref about it after. He goes, yeah, he was super confident. He was like, you deferred in the first half. He's like, I know, we want to defer again. And he like looked over at me, and I was like, I didn't know. I just figured the kid knew what he was doing. So like,
I feel like that did happen once, like in high school, where there was like a defer.
What the fuck are you doing?
We got the ball twice, and we're like, okay. What?
Like,
all right.
You deferred in the first half. That means you get the pick in the second. He's like, I thought you wanted me to defer. I go, yeah, in the first, whatever. Doesn't matter.
It also happened once where I think, I forget what the exact situation was, but I think we might have deferred, and then the team was like, we'll kick this way. And you're like, what's that? Okay. Like in the first half, like they decided, like it was their choice and they kicked, and you're like, great.
Interesting.
So we'll return.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, so my pick, it's kind of a sneaky one. I'm pulling a sneaky on you because these are 3 old movies, but they're all on HBO Max right now, and it's the last week in Dorktober, so it's the last week I can do this pick. Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, all on HBO Max. So if you haven't seen those yet, watch them in a row, understanding that Evil Dead 2 is just Evil Dead 1 with more budget.
Yep.
And Army of Darkness might be one of my favorite horror movies of all. Actually, it's like top 3 horror movies of all time.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome. I would suggest, if you don't have that much time, to skip the first one. I know you like it a lot, but feel free to just watch Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Well, watch them in order so you can say, why the hell did I even watch the first?
What?
So you watch Evil Dead 2, is like, so I could have just watched Evil Dead 2 and it's way better. Be like, yeah, Evil Dead 2 is Evil Dead 2 is in my top 3 horror movies. Army of Darkness, top 10.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't think Army of Darkness is really as a horror movie. It's more of like a fantasy sci-fi.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I even ranked that one because it was
zombies.
Huh?
There are zombies. So
yeah, no, it is. I mean, you can definitely say it, but there's even more, there's way more comedy. Like they lean way.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
But yeah,
basically, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. It's like watching a movie in standard def and then watching it in 4K.
So it's like watching. If you saw the movie, what's that movie with Mos Def and Jack Black? Be Kind, Rewind.
Yes.
It's like you watch their version of the movie first and then the real one. Like, why the fuck did I even watch that?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
All right. Next week, we're going to do Dune.
Yep.
So give people time to either watch it for the first time or watch it again. It's currently streaming on HBO Max and in theaters if you want to go to the theater for it. And then in 2 weeks, the next Marvel movie, Eternals, which I'm predicting is going to be a pile of crap, but I am going in with just a clean slate.
And I have been cordially invited by Mac and Goo to be one of their plus ones at the press premiere tomorrow.
You son of a bitch! No spoilers. Don't text me.
I'm not going to say a word
for a long time.
I'm not going to say a word.
Don't say a goddamn word. But my prediction is Cho Jeans.
Oh no!
That's my prediction. It just looks like Choji. It looks like the fucking Inhumans. But I've been wrong before.
Open mind.
I've been wrong.
Most anticipated movie of the year.
Also, it hasn't happened yet, but it's scheduled to happen tomorrow. I am going to join the gentleman from Pop Culture Pile Driver, Jason Rossi and Billy D. They're doing each of the Scream movies as standalone episodes.
Oh my god! So they got to get you in on that.
They got me for fucking Scream 3.
What?
The worst one. Oh, Christ. But I'm a sucker
Any
for
chance
Scream.
to talk Scream. Any chance to talk Scream, we're talking Scream.
Exactly. So I'm in on that tomorrow. We'll tweet all that stuff out. Again, at Dork Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Email us your should I have bought this and how you've celebrated Dorktober to this point. Maybe we'll squeeze out another dink by the end of the week. Who knows?
And hey,
it's October.
until Thanksgiving, until after Thanksgiving, Dorktober may be over, but Small Dick Fall rolls on all the way through Thanksgiving.
That's a good point. Small Dick Fall. So there should be dinks left, right, and center.
All over the place. Yeah.
That's how I put that. Really, Ryan, you don't give a shit, do you?
What'd you say?
I said you don't give a shit, do you?
Not really.